Good morning, everybody. It's Chad from Sticks Blog. So this cool morning, I want to take a few minutes and talk about a new fire starter. Now, a couple of months ago, I actually received a message on my YouTube channel from a company called Mission Preparedness, and I don't generally check my YouTube messages very often, but I noticed in the email that I'd gotten a new message. It looked like something I might be interested in. So several days later, when I remembered to actually go back and look, I saw what it was. He had some fire starters called the Ugly Stick, if this is focusing in here, and he was asking if I'd be interested in him sending me some of these so I could review. I want to say that initially I was thinking those actually looked like a really good product. However, I didn't feel like I had the time necessary to do a review, so I ended up turning them down. However, in my mind, I thought, I'm going to go back and I'm going to have to get some of those because they actually do look like a good idea. What I did do is I shared them on my blog's Facebook page, and there was actually a number of responses to it. One guy, Randy Kane, he actually bought some, and he kind of confirmed all of my suspicions about it, which is basically that they are indeed lightweight and they do work. They work well. So a little before Christmas, I had a little extra money. I spent $24, and this is what I got here. This is the 1 year plus, I think it's what it's called, 1 year fire starter plus kit. It comes with 100 9cm ugly sticks. There's 75 in the case here, and then there's 25 in this little carry tube here. So I just want to take a second and kind of talk about that for just a second and share my findings on it so far. First off, this is a small company. They're based in the United States, out of California. It's a vet, combat vet, retired combat vet, owned and operated. They're fairly priced, in my opinion. Like I said, I spent $24, and that's priority mail shipping to get to my house from California for 100 of these, and I feel like 100 of these are going to last me quite a long time. I don't know when I'll need to pick up anymore, but I don't foresee it as being anything I'm going to have to buy just all the time. So I think the price is very good. As well, like I said, they are a veteran owned and operated, and I think that in itself is great. Supporting our vets here in America, I think that's something that we should all do. We all owe them a great deal of thanks, and I think this is just one way to say thank you. But it does help that they are actually providing a worthwhile product, in my opinion. So these are like I said, the ugly sticks. You can get them in two sizes. You can get them 9 centimeters and 12 centimeters. I went for the 9 centimeters. That's the size that they are here. They're listed at being lightweight, which I'm going to tell you that they are on my scale. Just one of these comes in at 0.014 ounces. That's anywhere, well, 0.012 to 0.014. They kind of vary just a little bit in weight. That comes out to 0.034 grams or 0.04 grams per stick. What I've done, I didn't bring it out here, but I've just taken 5 of these and I've wrapped them up in just some saran wrap. I just kind of tore off a little piece of saran wrap, wrapped up 5 of them, and that's what I'm going to keep in my ditty bag, and the total weight of those comes in at 0.079 ounces. So very lightweight, and it's a very good product in my opinion. As far as what these are, they're not very complex. They're pretty simple in design actually, but that's what makes them so great. It allows them to keep the cost down, and of course it allows them to be able to make them pretty easily. But basically it's just some jute twine, and they've infused it like 3 different times with some wax, so that the wax actually stays with the jute twine. It doesn't just fall off, or it's not just on the outside or anything like that. It's actually infused into the actual ugly stick. The nice thing about that is it provides a slow burn time for a short piece because it's infused with wax, and also it makes it waterproof or water resistant, however you want to say it. In the product or manufacturer's product video of this, they actually show it. They'll light it and they'll dip it in a glass of water or a glass of Guinness, and they'll kind of swish it off and they'll light it back. And then in some other more independent reviews, from one from Rev Hiker, he actually took this little contraption here and filled it with lake water and let it sit for a while, and then he took them out and wrung them out and lit them. So there are several different ways you can light these. It's like a typical fire starter. Of course, you can use matches. If you don't have matches, you can use a lighter. If your lighter, if it's too cold for the lighter to actually work, you can always use a ferro rod and a striker. And being that this is Mission Preparedness, kind of gives you that survival option. The method that they kind of lean towards is the ferro rod and striker. Now, of course, lighting it with a lighter or some matches, no problem at all, assuming that you have those or that the lighter actually works. Lighting it with a ferro rod does take a little bit more, effort. However, once you get it down, it's not so bad. Now, I will say that I'm not one that generally uses a ferro rod very often, so it took me several tries and quite a bit of time. Not quite a bit, but it took a little time for me to kind of get it to where I was doing it fairly decent. What I do want to say is that, and I hope this camera is focusing in on this, but what I found that when using a ferro rod, it's very important. The better that you can get this fluffed out, the easier it is going to take a strike. And the way that you do that is you can just kind of rub it against your palm or something like that, because initially they're going to look like this end here, but you can just kind of rub it, and then kind of fluff it a little bit, and it'll come out pretty good. But the better you get it fluffed, the better it's going to take with a ferro rod. So real quick, I just want to do a demonstration with the ferro rod. And also, I want to say that this is not your ordinary ferro rod. This is the Ferro Pro 5 that they sell. This is a bomber ferro rod. Basically, they wanted to make a ferro rod that could stand up to real actual abuse, and that the handle wouldn't break or get lost on it. So they came up with the Ferro Pro 5 rod. This is actually 5 inches in length. When I measured it, it's listed at a 1/2 inch diameter, but when I measured it's actually 9/16 inches in diameter. It's got a 1.5 inch rugged plastic sheath on it, and then of course they've drilled it and fit it with this swivel D-ring. And then of course they've added just a little piece of line and a striker from firesteel.com. This thing is, I'll tell you what, for me, look at me, there it goes. For me, I typically carry a much smaller ferro rod when I'm backpacking, so this is way overkill for me as an ultralight backpacker. However, if I was planning a ditty bag, or not a ditty bag, a bug out bag, or if I just didn't mind carrying a little extra weight, this is definitely a fire steel to go with, because this thing is just bomber. So I'm going to attempt, like I said, my fingers are actually about frozen right now, so I'm going to attempt this. It may not work out very well, but anyway, like I said, fluffed it out here, and all you do is just kind of hold it against the striker, and then you send a few strikes down. And so I'm hoping this, there you go, first strike, wouldn't you believe it. As you can tell, the wind's kind of blowing out here. Now, as far as how long this thing will burn, this one has been used a couple of times, that's why it's so short. But you can see it makes a decent little flame there. What I like about this though is that since it should be longer if it was new, but I can take this like a match and I can kind of stick it wherever I want it to get that flame to go wherever I want it, rather than just having a pile of Vaseline soaked cotton balls and having to build around it. I could actually put this where I want it. So that's what's really nice. As far as the flame itself, I found that if I just do this and then set it on the ground, it'll burn for about 2.5 minutes. Some of them maybe just a couple of seconds longer. Of course, if I took it and held it like this, it's going to come up this stick a lot faster and it's going to burn faster. You can see the wind's out here blowing, and because the wind's blowing, it's actually burning faster than the other times that I've lit one. So it really just depends on the conditions that you're in. However, I gotta say, I'm very happy with this. According to the company, they say that you can get 25 to 30 relights out of one. I think it just depends on how long you actually let it burn for and what you use it for. Those 25 to 30 lights, they say that's on a 5-second light. So I would light it for 5 seconds, blow it out, and start again. So as you can see, it's kind of getting down a little low. That's more of a slow burn like it would normally burn. The wind's kind of died down. Up there it goes. I'm fixing to burn my fingers. Blow that out there. But anyway, those are the ugly sticks from Mission Preparedness. Like I said, you can get them on eBay. They have a few different options. This is the 1 year plus. Like I said, it comes with 75 in the 10, and then it came with 25 in this little plastic carry pouch thing here. I gotta say, I really like them. I did I did pay for this myself, so the review is my own. I'm not, being endorsed or paid in any way to share this. I just thought it was a really good idea. It's lighter than any other fire starter that I've carried with me on the trail. It works just as well, and there's actually, in my opinion, a couple of bonuses as far as how it can be used. So anyway, that's the Ugly Stick. If you're interested in, I'll post some links to click on their eBay page to get there and check those out. And I want to say thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.